Paul is reminding them, grace and peace to you. Grace and peace to you. You are a people with the grace and the peace of God upon you. You are a special people. You are a blessed people. And this idea that when he begins his letter, he's reminding them they are blessed. Whatever they're going through, they are blessed. Whatever the circumstances, they are blessed. And some of the situations Paul writes in, they are pretty sticky. They're pretty difficult. But Paul is reminding them, grace and peace to you. Grace and peace to you. You are a people with the grace and the peace of God upon you. You are a special people. You are a blessed people. And I love that idea. But it doesn't stop there, because when we think about the blessing of God, the grace and the peace of God, it's not just so that we are blessed and that we are enriched and that we are helped, but it's for also an extension to others. Now, this is where Psalm 67 comes in. This dynamic missional poetry, I call this. This is missional poetry. And when you read Psalm 67, not only do we get the repeat of the idea of grace and peace coming to us, but we get a sense of the purpose of that grace and peace and why it is coming to the people of God. In fact, if you know the sort of priestly blessing, and the people who read Psalm 67 or heard it sung would know that blessing, they couldn't help but hear the echo of the priestly blessing as Psalm 67 is being read or being sung to them. They would automatically hear that because it's an unmissable connection. And the psalmist who's writing Psalm 67 knows that and is hoping for that. The minute he drops those big ideas, he wants you to connect it back to the priestly blessing. The blessing that says, may the Lord bless you and may he keep you. May he turn his face towards you and be gracious to you. May his face be lifted towards you so that you have his peace. He's hoping you know that, so that when he drops that in at Psalm 67, we're making the connection. Number one, we're blessed. But now he's telling us what we are blessed for. And he lifts dynamic ideas. Let me show you the symmetry. In the great priestly blessing, it says this: the Lord bless you, the Lord make his face shine on you, and the Lord be gracious to you. Three actions of God, three verbs that are in that text. And then look at Psalm 67, how it opens up. The Lord be gracious to you, to us. The Lord bless us, and the Lord make his face shine upon us. It's exactly the same idea. So the psalmist in Psalm 67 literally picks up, bless, make your face shine, and be gracious. And he picks those three big ideas and he makes them his opening statement in this psalm. And he's wanting to connect the fact we are blessed. We are blessed. As the people of God, we are blessed. We have God, the maker of heaven and earth, has been gracious to us. This incredible God has lavished his peace upon us. We are a blessed people. And that blessing, of course, will be seen at multiple layers and lots of different ways that blessing can be expressed. But now the psalmist is telling us why we have been blessed. We're not just being blessed because he wants us to enjoy some blessing. We are being blessed to be a blessing through that blessing. And this is the big idea of God's covenant plan. His special agreement with you and his special agreement with me is not just so that John Andrews gets blessed and lives happily ever after, and that's a good thing, and I'm not going to push back on any of that. That's absolutely wonderful. But it's so John Andrews realizes that any blessing that's come into his life is because of the grace, the goodness, and the generosity of God. And I'm not just to enjoy that blessing, but I'm to understand that blessing has been given to me so that I can now share the blessing given to me with those who haven't yet experienced that blessing. Amen? And that's what Psalm 67 is all about. In fact, I don't know if you noticed, the sort of psalm begins with this idea and finishes with this idea. The psalmist says in verse 67, he says, may God be gracious to us and bless us and make his face shine upon us. And we would all want to stop there and go, amen, that'll do it. That's great. We'll have that. Finish right there. But then he goes on to say this. Look at how he says, so that So that what? So that your ways may be known on earth, your salvation among the nations. That actually God, yes, bless us. God, make your face shine upon us. God, be gracious to us. But don't stop there. No, it's not a full stop, it's a comma. And then God goes on to say, so that your ways may be known on earth. And look at how it finishes at the end of the psalm. So you've got a bookend at the front where it says, bless us so that the nations of the earth will hear you. And then look at the end, verse 7. He says emphatically, God shall or will bless us so that all the ends of the earth will fear him.